Hey guys, welcome back to another review. This one's going to be a late to the show. And this segment is basically going to be for movies I watch pretty much not early at all. And the movie I'm going to be reviewing today is This Thing On? This movie was written and directed by Bradley Cooper with the help of Will Arnett. This film kind of does a good old-fashioned divorced parents type story. Yes, I know, a tale as old as time in America. But obviously, there's a different twist to it. There is a stand up comedic end to this. So basically, how the story follows is Will Arnett's character is starting to realize that him and his wife just don't love each other anymore. And they decide to get a divorce. And he finds solace in doing stand up comedy and discussing his dirty laundry. And if we all seen those comedians that discuss the dirty laundry, things could be either really funny or just downright awkward and uncomfortable. But thankfully, the movie manages to walk that thin line of having it both be comedic, awkward, and also somewhat depressing. Also, I cannot lie, this movie did kind of give off a lot of BoJack Horseman vibes. Doesn't help the fact that Will Arnett is being mainly casted in these types of roles now. But how was the movie? The movie was actually surprisingly good. I had a pretty good time watching this movie. There was a lot of really good jokes. A lot of the stand-up comedic bits were actually pretty funny. Some of them were a little that awkward laugh, but then there was some that was actually downright pretty funny. But yeah, Will Arnett, I believe, did a really good job. He's someone that I feel like in this role he does succeed. His voice and mannerisms just really help deliver these types of performances. So he did a fantastic job. There's even moments in this film where I felt like we were just kind of in the room with the characters, and I really liked that. I appreciate that direction. Like there was moments in there where characters were just talking over each other and they're just going off and you're just sitting there like, whoa, there's a lot to take in, sensory overload. And then Laura Dern, if I'm saying that name right, Laura Dern is also in there and she plays the significant other, the ex-wife, whatever you want to call it. And even she has a very interesting arc because it actually shows why she's feeling this way, and maybe that she's conflicted and she just genuinely wants to find a way to either make it work or just rip the band-aid off. And she brings in a lot of good performances. And there's even a couple scenes between the two of them where the conversation is just very interesting and very much real. And this film obviously is trying to touch on that subject. However, is this a perfect movie? No. Is this a story that has kind of been done to death? Yes. And that's where I kind of draw the line of like, it was a good one-time watch for me. This type of story has been told many times in many new formats. Sure, the stand-up comedy section is new and adds a little more flavor to this type of story. But in the end, it's a story that we've all seen before, and you may or may not enjoy that. I had a good time. I'm going to give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. It's definitely a good time. I think if you're a fan of these types of movies, you should go out and check it out. But unfortunately, it's a one-time watch for me. I will not be owning this movie. But again, the performances are great. Bradley Cooper did another fantastic job directing the movie. I think he has a very much bright future in directing. He's not very stylistic with his films, but he's grounded and he's real. And that's what I appreciate about his films, that he lives in the moment and he lets the characters and the moment breathe. And also adds a nice bit of touch of comedy within there. So yeah, and that is basically my review. Hopefully you guys like it. I'll be doing more segments like this, so go ahead and like, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I'll see you later.